Just checking I'm muted, so I'm not gonna wake up anyone. Hello. I watched. Well, I finished watching about 40 minutes ago. What if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? A title so long, but I had to. What's the word? Abbreviate part of it so I could fit it as my YouTube title. Yeah, this I had a shower, so I'm hoping a bit more coherent than I was in the last reaction video, but perhaps not. This is basically what of the Avengers, but it was in the 80s, not as in not yeah, it was the 80s heroes in the MCU rather than 2012. So we had a whole bunch of people reprising the role. I mean, we had Sebastian Stan reprising his role as the Winter Soldier in perhaps the least kind of useful, impactful element of the roster. Not entirely sure why they. I think it was just because he was around, but there was a part where he turns up and both Peggy and Stark see him, and they're like, "Wait a second, that's Bucky," and you know, or Peggy's like, "Wait, that looks exactly like Bucky," and Stark is like, "Oh well, I heard the rumors," and I'm like, "Well, surely if you knew." I don't know, that doesn't really match up with his kind of surprise that it was Bucky killing him when Bucky did kill him in the flashback that we saw. It doesn't. I don't know. And I think it was too much telling, not enough showing. I think it would be more impactful if they gave each other kind of like knowing looks, Carter and Stark, as if they looked like they kind of were suspicious. But then again, I guess later on it kind of was important to establish that Stark knew it was Bucky. But even then, I felt like that whole dialogue was. The person in this call has to be waking up whenever I'm midstream. Yeah, I didn't. This direction of this reaction video isn't going for really kind of particular order. I just kind of jumped ahead. Basically, I felt that bit of dialogue was a bit clunky, and it would have been a bit more significant if they just had glances and then later on it came along. But Bucky was barely in this and didn't really actually contribute a huge amount. I think, and even the bit where there was that threat that he was going to shoot Peter, I don't necessarily think needed to be in it, and that kind of, for me, that took away from the whole thing they were doing between Hank Pym and Peter about, you know, honestly I can't actually remember the dialogue between Hank Pym and Peter. I was too distracted by the things going on with Bucky, even though it was meant to be like the core of the episode. I'm gonna have to watch that bit again, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. Hank Pym was in this reprising, and it's, you know, what's his face? Interesting. Did not realize that OBS showed what I was live streaming. That's kind of cool. Not OBS, sorry, Twitch. Discord. I just noticed that as a status thing. Michael Douglas reprising his role as Hank Pym. I think probably had the most prominent stuff to do this episode. There's kind of like a wholesome him talking about his own grief. guess we could see more positive side of the 80s Hank Pym, because Hank Pym traditionally is kind of a more negative character, I guess. Not negative, but kind of more dark. Where his attitude to the fact that he's actually the heart is kind of a nice twist, an expectation. We also get Lawrence Fishburne reprising his role as Goliath, which is good, because I was starting to worry that Marvel Studios have forgotten that character, despite how great an actor Lawrence Fishburne is. So it's kind of cool that he's back in this, and hopefully they'll remember to bring him back in the actual cinematic things. I mean, maybe we'll see him in Thunderbolts if they're bringing Ghost back. Had some pretty decent lines. John, no, not John. What's his Not John Candy, that's his father. No, it is John Candy. Sorry. No, Akandwa Candy. This is how I realized. I genuinely didn't realize Atanda Kani played the younger T'Chaka in Black Panther. I thought it was a de-aged John Kani. Clearly I didn't pay attention. So what do I know? But that's actually kind of cool. I guess it's a testament to the de-aging that I didn't actually realize that was what they were. That's what they ended up doing. Because it was very much in the age of Marvel where they were not, not casting younger actors. They were de-aging people. So I didn't realize that this was actually a different actor playing the role. But I guess because it's the son, it makes sense. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, that was Black Panther. That's not this. I've got 8 AM wind. I'm just getting that out of my system, so to speak, and also literally. This music's very loud. Yeah, I mean, he was basically just as another kind of person who was running this era. Him and Goliath and Winter Soldier were all just here to, I guess, make up numbers, but on the other hand, I think Winter Soldier was going to have the least kind of to do. Form an appearance, apparently gave race until literally every other part of the 9 realms was destroyed apart from Earth before intervening, which seems a bit late, but also it seems bizarre that this kid was able to get through Asgard but struggle on Earth. I guess if you hit Asgard first, then you might get away with it. That seems odd to me. But this is Chris Hemsworth again playing the same role he plays in your What Ifs, the kind of younger, free, humbled, although not entirely kind of arrogant either, kind of somewhere in the middle, a bit too willing, I guess, to perform infanticide, but I guess, what's the age of one celestial, I guess age is a bit more blurry when you're celestial beings, like this child is a juvenile insect causing all this different destruction. I guess it kind of makes sense. He'd be on that side. Yeah, we had a bit. I think the only person who was recasting this was Marvel. And Marvel is an odd choice to include. Again, I think also like Winter Soldier, it seems that I wouldn't necessarily maybe say that she is unnecessary in the same way that Winter Soldier was necessary, but also it kind of in that. Well, I wouldn't say she's no, she wasn't necessary. She just didn't take away from the narrative in the same way Winter Soldier did. But it kind of seemed odd, I guess, that she was there. No, not even odd. Just again, she was putting it just to make up numbers, but she's had a much more prominent role. But whatever, I guess. Yeah. Basically, it's kind of the Avengers film, but it's kind of mixed between the Avengers film and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but a couple of years, a couple of decades earlier. I guess that was a nice twist that if Peter Quill had been handed over. So I'm not sure. I guess in this version, I don't know. I feel like we time jumped over actually the most interesting bit of the. Well, I guess it's not the title, but like if Peter Quill, oh gosh, my eyes. If Peter Quill had been captured by Ego, as a child, and Ego's like, oh, I can actually use. He's inherited my powers to the point where he is able to actually use them. I don't just have to use them as a battery. I don't know, it was kind of implied that the only reason that Peter Quill resisted what he did in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was because Trek, because of his found family, but actually mostly because Ego kind of made the mistake of revealing the bit about his mother earlier. From what I know of Peter Quill later on in his life, it kind of doesn't seem likely that he would necessarily be as resistant and not completely impressionable by what Ego would have told him about his purpose in life, but I don't know. I guess it's also, this is also like, I mean, it's not, I guess who knows, it's the whole point of what if scenario. It's like, you know, change butterfly change one thing and a whole bunch of other things change. So he just wanted to go home, but it's being influenced by his father, his voice in his head, so he was still doing all the destruction. But once he reached home, he was just trying to reach Missouri so he could see his mother's grave. I don't know necessarily why he needed kind of talking down. Well, I guess he needed sympathy, so he joined the right side, kind of deal. I'm distracted by what my hair is doing here, and I wish it would stop. Does that? I hate it when it does that. I like that Hope was included in this, and there was that kind of like, oh, where childhood bonding aspect. The action sequences were alright. I mean, I like the bits in the fairground. They weren't anything spectacular. I like the bits with Ego, but it also seems very much kind of like a rehash of Marvel Zombies in terms of fighting these hordes of people. And then the way that, I don't know, there was a lot kind of not really explained. It was a bit kind of potch here and there. I don't know, I feel like I've seen a Facebook post about how I think it's comic book CBR, which CBR, but the implication I'm getting, they said that this has like done a new Marvel record or new record for Rotten Tomatoes for the MCU content, and I feel it's probably not going to be the highest, so it's probably the lowest. And I feel like we're perhaps not telling the best story. Anyway, I am very aware that I am not verbalizing myself extraordinarily well, because I am tired. So I'm going to catch up with the last of the three, hopefully form some opinion, try not to do a 30-minute reaction when I'm clearly stretching for stuff, and go from there. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you all in about 40 minutes.